You will be assimilated.
Resistance is futile.
We are the Borg. Lower your shields.
What's up there, Sparks? How's everybody doing out there? All right, today we're going to talk about something nobody wants to really talk about or acknowledge. Us older guys can see it. These things are killing us. Not just from the EMFs that are coming out of them. That's a whole separate thing. It's the distraction that's being done by these things. Okay? Now, again, they are very useful. I get that. You know, you want to pay a bill, you need a text message or something. But believe it or not, the whole world existed before these things did. And that's part of why everybody's detached right now. I mean, you go into a restaurant, you go into anywhere, college campuses, you know, people might be sitting outside, but they're just fucking staring at their phones. Like they're solving, you know, world hunger. And I see what my friends do. I've had guys at work and everything. They're either gambling. Okay, that's one of the things with online gambling since that was legalized. Now, I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist because I think that kind of the powers that be want to keep us distracted. They want to keep us kind of, but even if you don't want to look at it that way, just look at the facts. There's literally people go through withdrawals when they don't have access to their phones. They got to have their phones close. So there's an epidemic with these damn cell phones. Now, I really can't speak to what the ladies do. In most of my videos, I think guys are going to get more out of it because I'm a regular guy and I'm just calling it as I see it. Because I got 2 points I got to make with the cell phones, okay? The first is the gambling, okay? This is all I see people doing or talking about. I lost a friend at work because all he wanted to do was strike the next, game. Was because every time he was so close, he was so close, he was so close. And it's like, well, everybody's so close. And how many hours were you there getting your fantasy team together and looking at the points and getting this all together, you know? And a part of the way I looked at it, personally, was that one of the things that I never was blessed with was a family and kids and a home life. That's all I ever wanted. And that's what this guy has. And I would say to him, do you spend any time with your kids, with your family and everything? It's like there's conveniently, there's games that they spread out every fucking day of the week. You got Thursday night games, you got Monday, you got Sunday. And then when that was over, who's betting on golf? He never watched golf in his life, but there's money on it and there's angles. So then all of a sudden you get hooked on it from that standpoint. So I've come to look at these things almost like the devil's tool, okay? Because again, there's only a certain amount of hours in the day. And if you got to be at work, nobody likes their job and everything, then at least your home life, right? That's the time that you're supposed to unwind and relax. So if all you're doing is, gambling or making sure your bets are in and then looking at the outcome and then sweating the outcome, it's almost like even if you win, what are you winning? You're never going to get those hours back. You're never going to get the time that you could have been spending with your kids or God forbid, to, communicating with your wife. You're never going to get that back again. No, I think that it's part of this whole AI thing that everybody's worried about, and you should be. It's a big fucking thing. And it's like, we might be human beings, but if all we're fucking doing is staring at this thing all day long, then we might as well be the robots that the AI is just waiting to hook us up to. We're already hooked to it, in ways that we don't even see yet. So that's why, like I said, I've made sure personally that I don't gamble, online because I see everybody else has drank that Kool-Aid. It's allowed me to keep my Steelers and Mets, just rooting for them, and I don't have to put any money on them, and I know that I'm a fucking dinosaur, by looking at it that way. But I got a lot of time to do a lot of other things. That's the other thing. If the guy's not gambling, then what are you doing? You're following some chick with big jugs or a big ass, showing her goodies online, and you're making her rich, which is a kind of a separate thing. But the flip side of it is that you know what you're doing. You're working so hard for your money, and you're handing it over to these women on Instagram or this ever that force them to go get real jobs. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword of ridiculousness, in my opinion, because you find out that these women are making like thousands of dollars a month, a week, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just by sitting home and playing with their goodies and showing stuff. And some of them aren't even showing stuff. And guys are sending them their hard-earned pay. It's like, what the fuck's the matter with you idiots out there? It's like there's enough free porn out there. If that's the way you want to spend your time, why are you supporting these women that, sorry, they're giving other good, hardworking women a bad name? I'm not saying women in general. We're talking a very small percentage. And it's just a sign of the way society is going. Again, guys, when back in the day, I fucking did some crazy shit out there. It's kind of scary that I'm like the voice of reason. So I'm just trying to give another perspective. Put the fucking phones down. Stop looking at tits all day long. You never saw a pair of tits before? And stop gambling. And stop wasting your money. It's like they make it so easy. And it's almost like there's a fucking algorithm out there. When they know you haven't gambled in a while and you're trying, and I've seen this. I used to work retail. I used to have these guys coming in all the time. I saw it. I heard it. And it was like, as soon as a couple of them tried to stop for like a week and reconnect with their family or themselves and actually, kind of get out of the spell, the fucking phone would send them like $50 in free bets or whatever, and pull them right back into it. So it's I'm sorry, but there's a Luciferian energy behind these fucking things. Whether it's the chicks, and some of them might not even be real guys. That's the other thing. You're probably fucking sending your money to chicks that are probably AI themselves. But the point is that there's only enough a certain amount of time in each day to do stuff. You know, again, there's 24 hours in a day. 8 of them you're sleeping. A bunch of them you have to be at work. And so you have what? You have like, if you're lucky, you have 6 hours to yourself. It's like, use them for something better. Use them for something more productive. Get pissed off, or at the very least, when nothing's changing, or you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, or your kids, you don't have a good relationship with them, or your wife winds up cheating on you, God forbid, or stuff like that. It's like, well, where were you spending your time? You can't take anything for granted. So anyway, that's really my 2 cents with the whole thing. Fucking break the cycle of the cell phone. It's supposed to be a useful tool for you to use, not letting that you're not a slave to it. And again, it's only like the older generation, can even remember what it's like to not have these things. These kids that are born today, if they're, it's like they don't know what it's like to even look at another human being in the eye and have a real conversation. And that's a real sad testament for the next generation that's coming, because I've seen it. I've seen this younger generation. You try to look them in the eye, engage with them in any way, they almost don't know what to do with themselves. Well, it's because they grew up looking at a fucking computer screen their whole lives, and this is not a human being. The eyes, the windows to a person's soul is in their eye, and having a conversation with somebody, and the energy that's exchanged. I mean, people don't even have phone calls anymore with people. At least there's an energy exchange when you're having a phone conversation with someone, and no one does that anymore. So guess what? We're already fucking John Connor. We're the fucking Terminator's already been here, and as far as I'm concerned, he's already got most of us, because we're not really human beings anymore.
We are Borg.
We're half
You
Borg
will
already.
be assimilated.
So again, start with your own family. If you recognize yourself, say, everybody put your fucking phones down. How was your day? Look your kid in the eye. Start to get to know them. There's fucking families that text each other from different rooms. They're in the same fucking house and they're texting each other. It's like, what? So anyway, change things. You can always turn it around now and let the rest of the world turn into fucking cyborgs. You know, take back your own family, take back your own friends, and start telling your friends, you know, these are phones too. Start telling people and everything. You know, it's like a quick text back and forth, but otherwise, you know, let's call each other. Because I've forced people to have phone conversations. I have. And you know what? I swear to God, you know what they wound up saying? No, you're right. You're right. It's like I felt like, you know, and even through Zoom, you know, it's not even just for business. You know, do it as an actual, you know, a communication tool, because then you're actually seeing someone and you do get that human connection. So use the AI and the technology for, you know, for good reasons, and stop letting it turn us into fucking robots, okay? Right? Anyway, that's my 2 cents. That's what the old school guy has to say about it. Use these for your reasons, for human reasons, not for fucking AI zombie reasons, okay? Let's not be zombies yet. All right? All right, guys. We'll see you for the next one. Thanks.
I am Locutus of Borg.